Amid economic and geopolitical tensions, EU leaders gathered in the Belgian countryside for an informal summit on competitiveness.
Hungary's opposition leader Peter Magyar has accused Prime Minister Viktor Orban's ruling Fidesz party of preparing a blackmail campaign against him.
Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Heraskevich has been disqualified before his first run at the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics.
Amid economic and geopolitical tensions, EU leaders gathered in the Belgian countryside for an informal summit on competitiveness.
In terms of geopolitics, if you want to be a geopolitical power, you're either a strong economic power or a strong military power. We are a strong economic power, but we need to be stronger, that's for sure. So we need to work with our simplification processes. We need to work with everything that is helping our companies.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban called on Europeans not to send money to Ukraine if they want to remain competitive.
We'd like to have a better performing economy. We have to stop the war in Ukraine and to generate peace. Second, if you need your money for your competitiveness, don't give it to somebody else. So don't send your money to Ukraine. Instead of, we should spend on our own economy to improve competitiveness.
Eurobonds is set to be high on the agenda. The EU is stuck between federalizing and disbanding. Former Greek Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis told Euronews flagship program Europe Today. The economist blamed weak fiscal and investment pillars for Europe disintegration.
We have federal money, and this is our tragedy. We have a great central bank, a monolith of a central bank, and we have 20 treasuries that can't really rely on it.
When EU leaders discussed Eurobonds, they failed to talk about who would issue the debt, he added.
It was a mistake to create federal money without a federation. The result has been the spectacular drop in investment, the stagnation, which is causing the lack of competitiveness. So we have two choices. We are at a fork on the road. We can move in the direction of federation, or we can disband the euro.
Varoufakis' comments came as EU leaders gathered in the Belgian countryside for an informal summit on competitiveness, with Eurobonds emerging as a central point of contention. French President Emmanuel Macron called for, quote, future-oriented Eurobonds to invest in the ecological transition and AI, insisting that global markets were seeking alternatives to the US dollar. The European Union is setting up a strategy to efficiently detect malicious drones entering the bloc. The Commission presented an action plan on Tuesday in response to multiple incidents that have affected critical infrastructure in countries such as Poland and Belgium.
We have seen that drones, they have violated our airspace, disrupted our airport operations and caused also near misses with the civilian aircrafts. In fact, this malicious or irresponsible use of drones affects the protection of critical infrastructure, also our external borders, ports, transport hubs and public spaces, as well as maritime safety and energy security.
The strategy aims to increase investments in technologies that can distinguish malicious drones from others. The Commission also announced a new certification scheme for counter-drone systems and the launch of an industry forum to scale up production.
Hungary's opposition leader Peter Magyar has accused Prime Minister Viktor Orban's ruling Fidesz party of preparing a blackmail campaign against him. It reportedly involves a secretly recorded sex tape made with surveillance equipment that Magyar suspects the governing party plans to release. He said journalists received a photo of a bedroom with a message coming soon, suggesting a video release is imminent. Fidesz representatives denied involvement in distributing the photo. Under Hungarian law, releasing sexually explicit images without consent is a criminal offense. The allegations come as tensions grow in the campaign ahead of an April parliamentary election, which has already seen activists attacked and candidates targeted with deepfake videos. Magyar's Tisza party is currently ahead of Orban's Fidesz in recent polls. Magyar launched Tisza following a government-linked child abuse scandal that forced two senior officials to resign. The scandal eroded public trust in Orban's administration and created an opening Magyar exploited to build his party rapidly, creating the strongest challenge to Fidesz in years.
Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Heraskevich has been disqualified before his first run at the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics, the International Olympic Committee IOC announced on Thursday. The IOC banned Heraskevich from using his custom-made helmet, which features portraits of Ukrainian athletes killed in Russia's full-scale invasion since early 2022. The helmet does not display any slogans or political symbols.
With regret, we took this decision, but it followed his multiple refusals to comply with the IOC guidelines on athlete expression. Despite multiple exchanges and in-person meetings with the IOC and Mr. Karasevich, the last one just this morning at 7:30 with the IOC President Kirsty Coventry, who was in Cortina to meet him, he would not consider the many compromises that we offered him.
Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha slammed the IOC's decision, calling it an act of shame. 2 more Ukrainian Olympians have had their helmets barred from the Winter Games on the grounds of politicization.
Russia has attempted to fully block access to the WhatsApp Messenger app in the country, the company said on Thursday, as Moscow seeks greater control over its internet space. The Kremlin is also pushing for a state-backed, controlled Max Messenger, which WhatsApp called a state-owned surveillance app in a statement shared on social media. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told Russian media that Meta was being blamed for failing to comply with Russian regulations. Earlier this week, Moscow also restricted access to the Telegram messaging app, its founder Pavel Durov has confirmed. Several Meta platforms have been officially banned in Russia following Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Facebook and Instagram are only accessible with a VPN in Russia.
US President Donald Trump met privately with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Wednesday to discuss Iran's nuclear program. Trump said there was nothing definitive reached, but that he had insisted that negotiations with Iran continue as the US pushes for a deal on its nuclear program. In a statement, Netanyahu's office said the Prime Minister had also discussed developments in Gaza. The two leaders spoke for nearly 3 hours but did not take questions from journalists. Prior to the meeting, Netanyahu's office said he wanted the US-Iran talks to include limits on Tehran's ballistic missiles and its support for groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. The visit was Netanyahu's 6th to Washington during Trump's second term and comes as both the US and Iran have projected cautious optimism after holding indirect talks in Oman last Friday. Trump first threatened military action over Iran's bloody crackdown on nationwide economic-driven protests, then shifted in recent weeks to a pressure campaign aimed at pushing Tehran into a deal regarding its nuclear program. Israel itself is widely believed to have atomic weapons, but has never confirmed its status as a nuclear-armed state, and nor has it joined the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi came under fire at a congressional hearing over the Justice Department's handling of the Epstein files. Bondi also declined to face Epstein survivors seated behind her when asked to apologize for the department's failure to redact victims' names.
You apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before, Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
At one point during the hearing, Bondi launched into a passionate defense of President Donald Trump. She accused Democrats of using the Epstein files to distract from his success, even though Bondi herself distributed binders with information on the files to social media influencers last year.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million, and Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history.
An additional 3 million pages remain unreleased, and survivors are now urging the Department of Justice to make them public.
James Van Der Beek, the teen heartthrob who starred in coming-of-age dramas at the dawn of the new millennium, shooting to fame playing the titular character in Dawson's Creek, has died at the age of 48. His family announced the passing in a statement and asked for peaceful privacy whilst they grieve. Van Der Beek revealed in 2024 that he was being treated for colorectal cancer. The actor was known for being in the movie Varsity Blues and on TV in CSI Cyber as FBI Special Agent Elia Mundo. But he will forever be remembered for his role in Dawson's Creek, which ran from 1998 to 2003. Most recently, he made an appearance on ABC's Dancing with the Stars in 2019, where he reached the semi-final. Van Der Beek is survived by his wife Kimberly and 6 children.